Today I had a very important call that came in for a project that I'm working on, so I'm very sorry, but today's live stream is going to be super duper fun. We're going to jump inside of Unity, and I'm actually going to show you how I'm doing something that I said I was not going to do. I told you last week I swore I was not going to do this, but turns out you guys were right. So we're going to jump inside of Unity, take a look at this totally new way of level design. It's going to be really fun. Before we do that, I did want to let you guys know that my course, Ultimate Game Artist, just for this week, and really just for today, there's just 5 coupons, 50% off this massive game art program. It's 20 plus hours of 2D and 3D art content, how to make Photoshop 2D art, and also how to use Blender and Substance for 3D art. I have over 1,000 students, very happy students who love the programs. And by the way, if you're in the program, let me know in the chat if you are a student, and I'll say hello. So be sure to check it out below. 5 coupons left. These usually sell out. And guys, the reason I do these promos, the reason I do these sponsorships of my own courses during these live streams is because they do support Father's development. They support me making a much bigger game than I usually make. It supports my team. I have a team making this game, and more importantly, guys, it supports you. It's an investment in your future. It's a massive program. Click the link below and use one of those coupon codes if you want to learn exactly what me and my team use to make beautiful, breathtaking 2D and 3D art for our games. So be sure to check that out using the link below. All right, let's go ahead and jump inside of Unity and get started. By the way, guys, feel free to download my free 2D game kit below. It's totally free. It's my treat to you. I used this exact 2D game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days, and then I got to play it in front of his subscribers, which was really awesome. So download that. Use it however you want. It's my treat to you. Yeah. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is a exciting day. This is a very exciting day. And I already met with my team about this. It's a big deal because we're going to be using ProBuilder. Now, I know a lot of you said last week, Thomas, you got to use ProBuilder. And I kept saying, no, we're not using ProBuilder because I thought ProBuilder was kind of a cheap, ineffective way to make levels, when in fact, we went from 1,000 batches in our stats down to like 150. And that's because now we're using ProBuilder to create our levels. This is just a random level I created on Friday, and it's such an effective tool. And so for those of you who don't know how to use ProBuilder, I'm going to show you how I'm using it inside of Father. And for those of you who do know how to use ProBuilder, I'd love your advice. I'd love your thoughts during this live stream. But let's go ahead and hit play. There's a ton of stuff that we've created on top of using ProBuilder, and that is just new enemies. We've tightened the enemies, and they work really well within the confines of our new ProBuilder setup. So let's hit play here. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. Good. There we go. Okay. So look how many batches we have. 107 batches. That was 1,000 last week, and that's because it's all one mesh now. Okay, enemies are much more fine-tuned now. They attack faster. There's a slash effect on their fingers, see, so you can really see where their attack is, and if you get close enough, they will just keep going, and if you shoot them, they'll keep going, right? Originally they would stop and back up, and that was a problem because, well, once you start shooting an enemy, they don't really hit you. So you're pretty much good to go. And so we've changed that. But this is all ProBuilder here, even this carpet here. And I'll show you how we did this in just a second. And ProBuilder is a 3D tool inside of Unity to build very simplistic levels, right? On top of it, you can put your models, right? So even creating little angled stairwells, very easy to do in Pro Builder, okay? Spiders are much faster now, very scary. And also, the best part is they can come through, let me show you. The enemies can come through doors now. So all they do is they basically fire the same exact function that the player fires when you press E to open a door. So here comes our little walker. Let's see what he does here. Come on, buddy. So he will come through this door now. This is a big deal, right? This means you can't really hide. So overall, the enemies, the gunplay, and also just the performance of the game is much tighter now. I'm a big fan of tightening everything as much as we possibly can before we start fleshing out the actual levels, right? We've got to get an idea of what this game is and how it performs and how we're going to even make it before we just start making it, right? That's a little different than my attitude maybe last year. Excuse me. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Again, those of you just joining us, this video is sponsored by Full-Time Game Dev. There is a course below called 3D, or it's called it's called The Ultimate Game Artist, and it is a massive course on game art, how to create stuff like this, right? So be sure to check that out. There are just 5 coupon codes below. All right, so now we also have, let's go get a shotgun here. We also have ghosts, right? Ghosts are the hardest enemy to defeat currently, and they shoot bullets at you, little orbs. So now we've just complicated things a little bit, right? Now you can't just wander around having enemies chase you. You've got to worry about these guys too. So having a variety of enemies ensures that if one enemy is easy at first, it's no longer easy because you have this other enemy you got to worry about, right? I also made it so that enemies can appear once you hit a trigger zone. So if we hit this zone here, this enemy over here appears, right? As does this one. So it allows for jump scares. Let's go get some ammo. All right. So as you can see, guys, it's a low boy. It's a lot harder now. And that's what we wanted. We wanted things to be a little bit more complicated because things were a little easy last week. So overall, much funner gunplay. I actually got an email from someone I was very interested in, an individual. And this individual was like, hey, I played the demo. We don't really like the gunplay. And the good news is, well, that's an old demo. This new one, it's fun. It's a lot more fun. Let's just kill all these enemies, and then I'll show you a little bit more about Pro Builder and why Pro Builder is so freaking awesome. Almost done with these guys here. Get out of here. And then one final enemy. Let me just kill him here. Hello. All right. So Pro Builder is great because you can just start creating basically a labyrinth, right? And I love games that are just a labyrinth of just exploring. And it's really easy to do. What we're seeing here was really easy to create in Pro Builder, and I'll show you how in just a second. We can even create these creepy tunnels, right, with Pro Builder. There's no like set decoration or anything like that currently. But we just have these massive tunnels we can create now, and these were created in like a minute. Pretty cool. All right, and even create some elevated platforms. We can create curved walls if we want to. There's just a ton of stuff you can do with Pro Builder. Originally, what we were doing is the whole level was created with just modular pieces. The problem with that is, again, you have a ton of tries, you have a ton of batches, and it's much harder to put together a level fast, okay? All right. And I want to say welcome to people on Twitch. I haven't been streaming on Twitch for, I think, maybe 2 years, but I decided to start streaming on Twitch, and just want to welcome you guys to the stream. Okay, so let me show you the benefits of Pro Builder, okay? Let's go ahead and just create a new scene. I'm going to do a file save as, and we're just going to save a new scene, and this is just going to be a scene for today. Okay, this is going to be Interior Pro Builder live stream test. All right, let's delete this poly shape. And I'm going to delete all of this crap here. Pretty much everything in this scene I'm going to delete, except for, obviously, the player. And yeah, we're going to delete all that. So if I hit play, I'm just going to fall, right? There I go. There's also something here I don't want. What is, there's a pink thing. I saw a pink thing. Where was that? All this stuff here, we don't need it. Okay, let me show you the benefits of Pro Builder, okay? All right. And this is not pre-recorded. I don't know why you guys think that. So let's go to New Poly Shape. We're going to create a new poly shape. Let me show you really quickly why we're using Pro Builder, okay? New poly shape. And I want snapping to be turned on, and unfortunately, it's just not working. So let's figure this out. Why is snapping not working? Set it to global. Look, it says toggle grid snapping on and off. Available when you set tool handle rotation to global. Pfft, that's so dumb. Okay, now it is. Okay, can we turn it on and off now? Okay, good. It's not working. Okay, let's get some advice here. Why is snapping not working? I want to snap in increments of 4. It's just not working. I don't know. It should be in increments of 4. It's not. We're going to figure this out together, because I was having this problem earlier. Say poop if it's not pre-recorded. Okay. You guys are crazy. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't snapping. Is it the scale? I mean, that's fine. I just wanted to snap in increments of 4. I want snapping in increments of 4. Does anybody know why that's not happening? Toggle grid snapping on and off. Ah, there's our grid. Grid size, 4. Okay. Turn it on. New poly shape. I don't know, guys. I couldn't tell you. Let's put a stairwell in there. I usually just put the stairs in here just to get an idea of how big our stairs are. Okay, that's probably why. Look at it, I can't even see the grid. Why is that? Let's go to 0. 0 out of position. Okay. How strange. It's funny how this just started doing this during our live stream. Okay, I can see the grid now. Let's create a new poly shape and see it. There we go. Okay, we were just zoomed out too much. All right, so if I wanted to create a room with Pro Builder, obviously you want to install Pro Builder in the package manager. And then I can just start creating my room. This is just great. I love this. So if I just zoom out here, I can create a cool little hallway. It could take us into a bigger foyer area. We can even do angles, right? So if I wanted to do a nice clean angled wall here, I could do that. Maybe go a little bit more here, angle up. There we go. And let's create a little labyrinth over here. There we go. And then just keep going, keep going. Okay, now we have a flat surface. Well, we don't need to do any extrusion or anything like that. With the extrude tools, all we got to do is just write in the poly shape tool. We could say, well, let's do 16. And then let's invert or flip the normals. And right there we have our level. It's really that fast. If we bring our character controller over here into this first room, we can delete the stairs. Actually, let's just move the stairs over here. I like to see them. Let's make sure our increment snapping is set to 1. There we go. There we go. We're just going to move it over here. I like to be able to see the scale of a single object. It helps me know how big this level actually is. Then if we go to our character controller and press Control Shift F and then 0 out his rotation, he'll land right in place here. He should. Let's zoom in here. Control Shift F, zero out his rotation, right? And hit play. There we go, look. So that's how fast it is creating a new area, right? Now I understand that it looks very boring, so we can start adding wallpaper and texture to this room. Now obviously you can do this in Blender, right? You can do it in Blender, but this is just a faster way to do it. And I also just love the UV unwrapping. So first off, let's think about ways to make the room look a little bit more interesting, right? Well, we could select a face here, and we could do a, just select a face ring. There we go. And then we could, honestly, you could just extrude down and scale down and then select that ring, right? There we go. And just move it up to the top and move down by 1. Okay, now we have a frame around all of the walls. We could do the same for the bottom, right? Select that face ring by pressing Control and double clicking. Hold Shift, scale down. Good. And do the same down here. Just move it up by 1. See? Okay, what about creating like a sort of, I don't know, maybe halfway through the wall. Do this. There we go. And by the way, one of you said, Thomas, you can't do this because you're going to have these massive levels and occlusion culling is not going to work. Well, if you create small areas with various rooms, it's not so bad, especially if it's just very simplistic meshes. Then you start decorating the scene with static objects. Then it can be have occlusion culling, right? Okay, so we have this right here. That looks cool. And now all we can do is just make sure we select all of our vertices because we did some extrusion. We want to make sure we just weld all the vertices together. So that removes any spare vertices, okay? Now it looks really plain, right? So let's go ahead and start adding in some very simple textures, okay? And it's gonna just make things look totally different, okay? I love our carpet material that we have. So let's go to our global materials. And this is something I love doing in my games. I like all of the materials to be, for architecture, I like them all to be in one clean folder. So it's called Universal Materials. We have all these different materials that just always look great, okay? So let's drag in the carpet. Let's drag in the carpet here. Where is it? Carpet red. Good, there it is. Let's, for this, do some trim, some wooden trim. So I'm gonna select the face ring and I'm gonna do a wooden trim. Drag that on here. Here I'm gonna do a, maybe we could do some wallpaper. And hey, why not add one more face ring or loop cut here? There we go. Scale it down. I'm going to do an extrusion scale and just do that. Again, we're going to need to make sure we weld the vertices together. I'm going to select this little loop here, pull it down, and then just do that. This one we need to do it again because it's not perfectly on the axis. Or on the using the unit size. What am I saying? It's not perfectly snapped with the grid. Okay, so we're gonna move it down to a 1. There we go. And then this one, move it down to that 1 and then up 1. There we go. See? Okay, so now we can double click, Control, double click. There we go, and do our wood trim here, and then double click this. We're gonna do we can do brick wall. That's fine. And then this one here, we're gonna do our wooden trim. And then for the ceiling, we're just going to use our ceiling. There we go. And now if we hit play, you'll notice that the textures are all off. The sizes are all off. Instead of going into Photoshop and fixing it there or addressing the tiling of each one, we can just select the whole thing, okay? All the faces. And we can go to our UV editor and just hit 4. And now it's going to conform with the unit size of 4, okay? This down here is a little messed up. Let's go ahead and fix it. Select and double click. There we go. And just go up by 1. So it should work. I don't know why it's not. That should work, but it's not. Isn't that weird? I wonder why it's not going up 1 unit size. That's a strange thing. It should do it. There it goes. Okay, for some reason it worked now. Great. All right, so let's go ahead and hit play and see how everything feels. Look at that. So if this was all modular and you had a bunch of these different modular pieces, you could definitely do occlusion culling. That's great, but you're still going to have a ton of tries. You're still going to have a ton of tries and a ton of batches. In this case, we only have 56, right, for this big level here. And it looks great, right? It looks great. Let's add a light in here. I'm not going to use any directional lights. I don't really see a purpose of a directional light in an interior level. If you guys have an idea of why that's the case, let me know. Let's throw in our point light prefab that flickers. So that's going to make the room sort of flicker in and out. And this is just a pre-programmed light. Where is it? There it is. So this is just a light with a script on it that will flicker. So the light will just, it is a real-time light, so obviously we're going to want to bake some, but in this case it's fine because it's just one light. Okay, so now we have a flickering light. Very subtle flicker. Makes it look a little creepy in here, huh? Great. So that's how fast we can create a level with ProBuilder, right? If we wanted one room to look a little different than another, that's totally fine, right? So let's say this room here, if we wanted it to look much, I don't know, much more unique. Let's copy this one, paste it, and then move it in here. There we go. Now we have a light in here. What we could do is we could just select these faces here. And what you'd want to do is make sure you have these faces sort of creating, we could even do a trim piece here, right? So if you're going to make, this is true of like, especially the level designers of Doom. Doom level designers said, look, if you're going to change the texture, you need a transition piece. That's the rule, right? So if I hold shift here, create a new little loop cut kind of thing here. I know this isn't the best method to do this, but just bear with me. If I wanted to create a little loop cut here, I could just hold shift and then do that and bring it over and then hold control. There we go. All right. Awesome. And then hold shift. There we go. One over here as well. Actually, let's make sure we get this one. Hold shift and then move this over here. So we're just creating these little loop cuts that we can add that trim piece to, right? The same is true with these, right? And hold control or hold shift, control, and I'll weld these vertices in just a sec, guys. There we go. And the weird unwrapping that's going to occur here is easily fixed with ProBuilder. It just automatically fixes it for you, which is really cool. Hold control or hold shift, control, shift it over. And this is the benefit of using a grid snapping system. If you know your grid sizes, it's easy to just create very uniform pieces, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and create, all of these are going to have their own wooden beam, okay? So if I go to our wood trim piece, put it in here, you'll notice that now they're going horizontal, right? Well, that's easy fix. You just go to UV editor, make sure it's set to 4, and then do a rotation of 90. And now they're perfectly lined up. Especially right there, not so much. That's okay, that's an easy fix. If we go to our UV editor here, and if we just position that maybe over here, we actually click this button here, and it's gonna allow us to shift over these UVs. Turn off snapping, and then just shift. There we go, just like that. Okay. Looks good. All right. So now we have very quickly created a transition piece to a new style of room. So if I wanted to, I could say, well, let's make this room just wooden panels, okay? So I just select all those materials, and now we just go to our wooden paneling, and you just want to make sure that it's set to 4. It is, good. And that's great. These aren't lined up perfectly, right? So I'm gonna actually just select all these. It's really simple here, guys. And just pull them up. Make sure this button's selected here and just pull up. So we can find a good spot to put them. We could do that, or we could even scale them if we really wanted to, right? So if I really, really wanted to make them perfect, I could scale them like this in the Y direction. and do it like that, like a tall piece, right? So we could do 0.13 maybe. Let's see here. Yep, almost 0.1 maybe. About 0.14, 0.15 maybe. Yeah, there we go. We can do the same down here as well. And just set that to 0.15. And then just drag it up. So now they're nicely aligned. See that? Isn't that cool? These guys here we could fix even. We could say, you know what, let's do that. And we could even squash them if we wanted to, but I'm not going to worry about it right now, okay? All right, guys, let's hit play and take a look how that other room feels. Let's run on in there. So hope you guys can see why this is so beneficial. It's just a really fast way to lay out a level. It's super fast. Look, looks great. Now, something I really love doing is selecting, let's say, these materials here. So if we selected every material that was wood, we could actually extrude these and make them thick, okay? So we could go extrude faces, select that, and we could do 0.1, we could do 0.2. We're gonna extrude by the face normal. Hopefully this works. Good. All right, that looks pretty good to me. And so now we have these thick wooden pieces. Very cool. Let's hit play and take a look. So now the room looks a little bit more alive, right? Just with this simple extrusion here. Okay, well, let's talk about the floors, right? What if we could make the floors look a little bit more unique? Maybe this one we want it to sort of dip down, right? What we could do is we could actually just cut right here, take these two. I believe this is going to work. Let's take a look here. Sometimes you have to switch from local to global to get that orientation correct here. Let's go ahead and select all of our vertices here and weld the vertices together really quick. Good. And you'll see that we have some stray vertices inside here. Not the best, but I'm not worried about it. I'm going to select these and see if we can do a cut. It's unlikely. I don't see it working. Like if we connected them, no, it's not going to work. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use the cut tool to cut the floor here to here. Okay, you'll see our UV got screwed up. That's okay. Now this can be a totally different floor. Again, you want to make sure that you're creating transitional pieces, right? So if I select this here and then this here, I'm going to shift that over a little bit actually. These need to be welded. Why aren't they welded? Let's see here. Those are good. Let's see. Take a look. Yep, okay. So what we could do is shift this over by a unit size of 1. We can also cut these as well. So if I went to the cut tool and did this one here, can I do it? I don't think I can. I don't think I can. What we could do is we could take this piece here and do another one. Here, I'll show you. So this is just something I'm learning with Pro Builder. It's a little bit ugly sometimes if you don't know what you're doing. And in this case, I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay. I'm going to take this here. There we go. Do one here. Okay. And now we can take all of these vertices here and just position them perfectly along that one, right? So we could turn on snapping. There we go. Snap to the 1 value. There we go. Is that 1? What am I doing here? I'm going to figure this out. Snap perfectly here, and then I want this one to snap perfectly. I think it is. Yeah, they're perfectly along the line. This one right here, though, is not. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's along the 1, and this is also along. Let's see here. Move it over, hold Control, and shift over along the 1. Is it? It is not. I wonder why. Still learning. I think that's good. This one right here is screwy. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now we can, because these are extruded out, they're not perfectly aligned with one. That's okay. And then if I just made this a wooden trim and then set it to 4, we're good to go. So this is what I'm learning, guys. I learned this on Friday. So I'm still figuring it out. Both Felipe and I are still learning how to use ProBuilder. But overall, I feel like we've done a pretty good job here of getting a good idea of how it works. We're going to make sure we just weld all the vertices together. And then, yeah, we now have this floor piece that's separated. Now what we can do is take this floor piece here and do an inset. And I do inset in quotes because it's not really an inset. There's no inset function. Watch it, Thomas. Function for ProBuilder. But if I hold Shift, there we go. I can inset here, and then I can just align them up with the 4. So again, we're using unit size, a grid size of 4 Unity units. Okay, I can bring these up here and then this up here, and there we go. And now I can actually extrude this down by like 1 unit size, and it could be a wooden floor or a stone floor, you know, something like that. We could do a brick wall, or we could even do a, hey, let's do an ornamental tile. Do we have tile? We should have tile. Where is it? Material, stone tile. There it is. Now, if we didn't want it to be this deep, we could go to our increment spacing and go to 0.25 and then bring it up and then hold Control and just go down by 0.25, just like that. We could even select this and just select all these different edges here. Whoopsie. We could scale it up just a little bit to make it look a little bit more intentional. We could do this. There we go. And then this here. So it's like the carpet is dipping down. Now, one of the things I really love about ProBuilder is if I wanted to create a hole in the ground like this. So let me show you. And then this here. Shift, Control, and move it here. Let's make sure we weld all those vertices together. Okay, weld. Good. I could create a quick hole in the ground. Actually, let's do it on the right side here. Control, Shift, there we go. Select all those faces and then weld those vertices together. I could take this and I could just hold Shift and then take us down. Okay. Now the cool thing here is if I just hold that, let's say we move it up to about here, I could actually do extrusion again and then do it this way. Look, see? And then another one here. Good. Hold Shift, click. There we go. So I can create all these cool labyrinth systems within our world. Okay. If I wanted to, I could angle them, right? I could say, you know what? Let's do an angle like this, right? You could do that. Totally fine. And then rotate it. You could do that if you wanted to. Pretty cool. But I'm going to keep it nice and clean and straight. Okay. And then I could say, you know what? Let's make this like a really creepy, I don't know, carpeted or maybe wooden floor. You could say, hey, let's make this a wooden floor, right? So let's just drag in our wooden floor, horizontal. There we go. Horizontal planks. Those are set up properly. I think we could probably fix that UV a little bit. So I could go ahead and select our little move UV in real time or in the scene view, turn off snap mode, and then just drag them over a little bit. And they fit nice and clean. There we go, guys. Okay, now it looks a little weird, doesn't it? You've got tile now. So let's actually say, well, let's create a transition piece, right? So all you gotta do is create a transition piece here. Hold Shift, extrude. Let's see, can we turn off? We gotta make sure we turn that off. There we go. Hold Shift, there we go. And then pull it up. Make sure we turn on snapping. There we go. And then we can go down by 1, full unit size here. And then these are gonna be that wooden trim, all right? You could even do wooden trim on these edges here. I'm not gonna worry about that though. We're just gonna do a wooden trim here. There we go. Make sure we set that to 4. There we go. And for some reason we don't have that wooden trim. Let's take a look here. Why don't we have a wooden trim here? Wood trim. UV editor 4. Huh. I wonder why. This could be wooden panels. Does that work? Let's take a look. Doesn't. I wonder what happened. I wonder why it's doing that. It's a strange thing. Let's go back in time. Whoa, what happened? That's weird. Sometimes you just wonder, what the heck just happened here? Let's take a look. All right, so let's make these wooden panels first and just see what we get. Wood panel, where's my wood paneling? There it is. Okay, that looks good. I don't know what happened. Go to 4, there we go. Good. Hey, let's just do this too. So this interior here will be just a bunch of wood paneling. Right? Wood paneling, good. All right, set up properly. The ceiling we could do a, I think we could probably get away with a wood panel ceiling as well. Something like that, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. So guys, this is what you do when you have just a very simplistic layout, right? You're gonna add in all sorts of detailing, but that detailing is static objects that you would, use occlusion culling to cull out, right? But we have a very simple level layout here. There we go. And hopefully this will fix. Let's see here. Select all these faces here and just add in that wood trim now and see what we get. Okay, good. It fixed itself. All right, let's hit play and take a look. So far, it's looking pretty cool. Hey, thank you, Jason. Love it. It means a lot to me. By the way, guys, those of you just joining us, just remember that the Ultimate Game Artist Bundle of my 2D and 3D programs is 50% off right now, and there's just 5 coupon codes left. Okay, so this room looks awesome. This looks awesome. Very cool. All right. So that is the benefit. That is the benefit of Pro Builder. It's really fast, and like I said, you slowly start adding in those static objects, right? So like this one here, where's our bookshelf? If we wanted to put a bookshelf in there, and maybe even a platform, like let's say maybe we could do just a shelf here. Let's go to global center. There we go. If I wanted to move in like a shelf system in here, well, this is a prefab, right? You don't need to build this out of Pro Builder if you don't want to. This is Blender. So it's a mixture of Blender and Pro Builder. So if I wanted to move that over here, we could. Grab this vertex here and just snap it in place just like that, see? Have it nice and cleanly aligned. Do one here. There we go. There we go. Nice and clean and snappy. Look how clean this is. Awesome. So you could put a shelf in here. You could even put a bookshelf in here, right? So you could say, well, let's put a bookshelf over here. As long as your unit sizes are set up properly in Blender and also Pro Builder, you're going to have a nice snappy situation. Let's make our increments 0.1. There we go. We could put this one here. And the only problem with having these jutting out like this means that it kind of screws up your world sizes, right? So I have to sort of put it in there, and now it sort of like looks like a built-in, which honestly is totally fine. I think that's fine, but that's just something to remember when you add trim elements like that. you're going to have to sort of dig into those trim elements. But look, now we have like this beautiful library. One more up. Here we go. So now we have this really pretty library room. We could even put a chandelier in here, right? A chandelier right here, just hanging in here, just chilling. I'm going to move him up just inside there like that. Maybe even make him smaller. There we go. So now he's nice and not in our way. So it's just really fast. And this is great for like super indie games, very simplistic indie games. It's a great way to put together a level. So look, our room is just really coming to life, and it's just a very simplistic level. And we're only looking at, you know, 133 batches, and we don't even have inclusion culling baked yet for these elements here. So overall, it's really working. I really like it. Okay. So guys, that is Pro Builder, and that is why we're using Pro Builder. The next thing I wanted to do for our live stream is start creating some wallpapers that look a little bit more Art Deco, and that's because we're going to start using a little bit more of an Art Deco approach to our level design, because this is in the 1920s. Games like BioShock do this really, really well, and so it's as easy as, in my opinion, it's as easy as just creating new, let's say, wallpapers that have just an Art Deco feel. We're also going to throw in a little bit of Willy Wonka-esque feel to this game as well, and that's something I decided over the weekend. So one thing I want to do here is let's just create a striped wallpaper for now. This is certainly something you can mix with an Art Deco feel. So I'm going to duplicate this wallpaper. I'm going to call this Material Wallpaper Stripes. Let's create a very simplistic striped wallpaper. We're going to duplicate our wallpaper here. We're going to call it Wallpaper Stripes. This is the texture, not the material. Open that up, and let's go ahead and create some stripes, okay? This is easy enough. We're going to do a full square here, transform selection, and we're going to split it into fourths. So we're going to do a width of, let's say, 25%. And we're going to do a black one here. Line it up. And then one here as well. Actually, let's do two. Perfectly lined up. We take all of them here and then just snap them in place. We just delete this one and this one. And then I'm going to do a full green. Okay. I'm going to drop this down, and let's just do a more yellowy color. Very good. Okay, so that's our striped wallpaper. All right. So let's make this room here have striped wallpaper. So all I got to do is go to my new striped wallpaper. We're not going to mess with the normal, because the normal map is just sort of a rugged wallpaper normal map. So all I got to do is drag in this new texture here. And I want to make sure I select the faces of this room here. And then I'm going to drag in that new wallpaper, which is going to be the stripes. Okay, there we go. So now we've got a sort of creepy, like a Willy Wonka-esque feeling into this room here, right? So let's hit play and just make sure it looks good. Cool. Okay, I think I want it to be a little bit more yellow. So I'm going to go to another hue saturation layer, colorize, crank up the saturation and the brightness, and do something like this. And at real time, we can see the effects. Very spooky. Kind of looks like a carnival. I like it. Let's bring these stripes down. Good. Okay, I like it. So we're definitely going to be going for a more fun house feel. It's still in the 1920s. It's still going to have this Gothic architecture, but we want to have the ability to create some more, I don't know, Willy Wonka-esque wallpapers. Okay, so it's a little thick, honestly. I think we could probably do, let's duplicate these. And I'm gonna, just so they're evenly distributed, we're gonna do 6. Just like this. And then I'm gonna scale them down to here. Lined up perfectly. And now we can delete these center ones here. Okay, I think we're gonna have an issue here with 6. Maybe we wanna do, well, no. There we go. Save it out, take a look. Ah, yes, much better. Ooh, very spooky. I like that. Very spooky. Okay. I wonder if we could make some carpet that looks like spirals, right? That might be really cool. So let's do a spiral carpet. Let's open up this carpet here. I love this carpet. We're definitely going to use it. But I'm going to call this material carpet spiral red. Okay. Now let's go to the carpet itself, duplicate it, and we're going to call this carpet red spiral. Open that up. And for this one, I'm going to merge these layers together. Delete these layers here. And there we go. I'm just going to use that red color. Let's go to nounproject.com. Obviously, we could find some textures on textures.com. But I think I want to do one single spiral. Let's see here. A nice clean spiral. It needs to be perfect. Nice clean spiral. Come on, give me a good spiral. These are cool. Let's take a look. This would be sweet, actually. And what we'll do is we'll make it so that the outside edge is pretty clean here. Color overlay. Do black. Drop down the saturation. Let's save this. And we're just going to look at it in real time. We got to make sure we cut this, though, so that we can have it our own little face here. So let's cut that. One here to here. I'm going to try and weld these together, or at least collapse them. Where are you, buddy? There you are, buddy. Let's collapse them. Good. Make sure it's nice and lined up, right, with the floor. And we can actually just take this here, do the same thing. So just, you know, in theory, I feel like we should be able to just take these and do a connection, and that should just do it. Yep, now we got our own face here. And now what we can do, guys, is just hold shift, do that, and then pull it over to 1, and then over by an increment of 1. There we go, and that should be the same size as the trim piece. It is, good. We're gonna put a trim here, just a wood trim. There we go. Make sure we set that to 4 though, right? So we're gonna do a UV edit, go to the loop or the tiling, and it's set to 4 now. Looks good, all right. And now we can put those spirally carpet spiral right here, all right? There we go. And let's just make sure we select all of our carpet here. So we're gonna select all of the materials that share this carpet material. We're gonna go to our UV editor and make sure we just set that to 4 because those got screwed up. And then this one we're gonna set to 4. So now we have spiral carpet. Pretty cool. All right. I wonder if we can make it look pretty seamless. So what we'll do is take this just a noun project icon here. We're gonna scale it up and get it perfect. Basically what I mean is I want this width to be the same as this width here. Ah, come on, Photoshop, what are you doing, buddy? I wonder why it's doing that. So we're just stretching it. Basically this width here and this width here need to equal this width here. Good. Now let's just connect them. right? So we'll just take this. I'm going to rasterize this and just pull it down. Save it. Take a look. Almost. So we just want to connect the top and the bottom. Or we could just connect, let's see, rasterize this layer here. Turn the music down for you guys so it's not scaring you this whole time. Good. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to merge all these together and duplicate them a lot. Get the opacity back to 100%. Merge those together and then drop it back down to 10%. Maybe 25. Let's see if that creates some cool loop effect. Nope, didn't. Wonder why. I wonder why, my friends. Did it not save? That's interesting. I'm not sure why that's happening. I think I know. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. But overall, I think it's okay. Let's see here. One thing I do like to do for these kind of weird patterns is, oh man, I gotta figure it out. Let's figure it out, guys. So that one goes all the way down, but it should be going, let's see here. I'm gonna put a green here and just see what that is. Okay, the green is up there. So the theory is, I think it might be this here we need to do. I'm confused. Let's try it out. Save that. Okay, now they're connecting. All right, good. So it was over here that I needed to do it. So let's line up our arrows here. There we go. And by the way, this music is from Epidemic Sound, so it's just stand-in music. I just wanted something a little scarier, just to see how it feels. I'll merge all these together here. There we go. Delete that. Save it, and let's take a look at our new seamless pattern. Oh, it's beautiful. All right, we've got beautiful seamless carpet here. Nice. Now, we could make it look a little bit more rugged, couldn't we? We could go to our original carpet, and I could take this, I could merge it together, copy it, and I could actually blur it just to create some texturing that's happening here. And then put it underneath like that. Very good. Okay, let me show you how we're going to make it a seamless loop. This, for some reason, got screwed up. Not sure what happened here. Okay, so the way we're going to create a seamless loop here, merge the bottom layers, flip them vertically, flip them vertically, fade out the top, merge the layers together, flip it horizontally, fade out the left and the right, and it should have a nice, perfect, seamless loop. Doesn't. Well, well, well. Let's try again. I'm going to make sure that texturing's off just a little bit here, or not as pronounced. There we go. Just a subtle shade differences. Let's flip vertically so that only that top lip is visible. There we go. Okay, yeah. Opacity needs to be 100%. There we go. I don't know what's going on there. Hang on. There we go. Good. Merge those layers together. Transform, flip horizontally. Man, this music's giving me anxiety. Save it. And that should give us a seamless. I just don't know what's going on there. Why does that happen? Look at that. That's so weird. Gracious. That's so weird, guys. That's so weird. wonder why that's happening. Come on, Thomas. What's going on, buddy? There we go. Merge these layers together. One more time. Flip horizontal. And then fade in the edge there. And that should do it. Okay, good. Let's take a look. All right. Yep. All right, we've got this slightly subtle sort of muddy texture now on our carpet. Looks pretty sweet. That's some pretty horrifying carpet, honestly. Okay, what about an Art Deco wallpaper? So not just stripes, but sort of an Art Deco feel. What we could do is we could go to textures.com, and I have a subscription to textures.com. Thomas, you can offset the texture by 50% in both X and Y, and you will see the seams in the center. We're not going to do any texturing offset. None of that in this game. Everything's always 0, 0, 1, 1. But that's a good advice. Let's type in Art Deco wallpaper. See what we get. Nothing. Type in wallpaper. See what we get. That kind of looks Art Deco-y, huh? Maybe we could use that. Maybe just type in Art Deco. We might need to create our own. Okay, these are all decals. We could definitely just Google search it. We could Google search an Art Deco wallpaper just as inspiration and create our own in Photoshop, okay? So I'm going to open up an Art Deco wallpaper here that we really like. Let's see here. That one's kind of cool. We could even type in Art Deco pattern. Yeah, okay. So something like this is really what I'm after. So let's go to Noun Project. I'm actually going to create a new texture here. Let's go to our wallpapers. Duplicate this one, and I'm going to call it Wallpaper Art Deco. Let's open let's open that up in Photoshop. I'm going to blur this bottom piece because I just like having a subtle blur and muddled texture on simplistic, like Art Deco wallpapers, just to add some detailing. So Art Deco, let's see what we got in Noun Project. Hey, there we go. Sweet. And this is all legal, which is exactly what we want. Look at that. Basically found exactly what we needed. Scale her up, perfect square. And she's not going to loop perfectly, so I wonder if we can find a different one. I don't like how it doesn't loop. Let's keep on keeping on. Let's see what else we can find here. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at this one. So we'll basically have, yeah, this will loop pretty good. We could even do, and these are vector art, so they're going to scale perfectly. There we go, guys. What do you think? Do something like that. We could do like gold, right? So like black's pretty cool too, but let's do gold and just see what it looks like. Maybe a red would be good. Yeah, like that. Let's save that out and just see what kind of wallpaper we can create with this. Okay. Let's go to our wallpaper material. We're going to duplicate it and call it Wallpaper Art Deco, right? And drag in that new Art Deco wallpaper. So this room could be our Art Deco room. Okay, I believe that works. We don't need to set it to 4x4. Good. The muddled background is a little much. So we're going to take this texturing here. That color there. Oh, that looks good to me. Save it out. Drop it down. Good, let's hit play with the lighting and see how it feels. It's pretty sweet, right? Now, if we wanted it to look like that was golden trim, the way we would do that is we would first add a drop shadow to it. So I'm going to create a smart object out of it. I don't know if I like the edge being so thick. It's fine. It looks fine. What you do is add a drop shadow to it, and then an inner shadow of white to the edges. Look at that. And then an inner shadow of dark on the other side. Awesome. Save that out, and then we're also going to do a normal map. Benefit of, you know, these simplistic textures is hopefully the normal map itself will be pretty easy to do in Photoshop. Usually I don't like using them in Photoshop, using Photoshop's normal map creator, but I think we should be okay. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's create a normal map. You know, I think that we could do something interesting here. We could sort of fade out portions of it to make it look a little bit more textured, right? And then even just drop down the opacity. Let's take a look. Yep, that looks way better. The background is a little muddled. We're getting there. We're getting there. I feel like the background maybe doesn't even need to be mottled or whatever the word is. Okay. That looks pretty good. I really think that we shouldn't see those edges at all. So I'm actually going to delete them. Let's try this. Much better. That looks so much better. Look at that, guys. Isn't that cool? All right, we can add a normal map now. I'm going to just merge all these together and create a normal map. 3D, create normal map. Let's see what Photoshop gives us. Sometimes you got to make it a smart object for some weird reason. Who knows? But whatever. Come on. Doesn't always work. Hold on. Let's see here. Maybe crop it. Photoshop gives me such a hard time with normal maps. Come on, Photoshop. Photoshop's 3D features are being discontinued. Screw you. What? Just let me do it. How's that? Gracious. We're gonna have to use an online normal map generator. Let's do it. If Photoshop doesn't want to give me my money's worth, which is completely unsurprising, we're gonna do normal map generator. Okay, so let's see if this works, guys. So let's export this out. We're gonna just put it in our downloads folder. Wallpaper Art Deco, good, save that. Open that up in our normal map generator. And it should generate a normal map for us. Looks good. Yeah. Download. There it is. Why is it that I have to do that? Photoshop, please. But it works. Okay. File, save as. Wallpaper, Art Deco, normal. And we'll bring that in to our wallpaper here. Good. It's fine. I think we should blur it. Actually, we gotta click fix now. Good. Good. Okay. It's coming together. It's coming together. It's pretty cool. I feel like that looks better than the carpet. So I think what we want to do with the carpet is maybe thinner lines for the carpet. So we'll do that in just a sec. Let me blur the normal map a little bit. I like to do this for like more stylized looking games. So let's go to our layers. Delete that. We're gonna blur this and even add some contrast to it. There we go. And then just do a big old contrast hit. Do another one. Save that. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit more elevation. Yeah. Good. All right. Let's do a normal map size of 2 and see what it looks like. Yeah. Does it look inverted to you guys? Nah. Kinda does to me. I wonder if we need to invert it. I know. This is bad form, Thomas. Bad form. But that does fix it. Now it looks embedded. Interesting. Well, you know, we did what we could. I'm going to fix the edges, though, so that they blend seamlessly. So we're just going to go to our gradient. Oh, am I in 3D mode? I am. How do I get out of 3D mode? Whatever. How do I get out of 3D mode? Close. Am I in 3D mode here? Close. Let me save this really quick. A little level design or level logo. Okay, let's open that up and see if we can get out of... What is this? How do I get out of freaking 3D mode? What? Let's close Photoshop. I'm disappointed in Photoshop today. Not a huge fan. I just want this wallpaper to look good, and then we'll move on to making the floor look a little bit better here. So that's seamless. Honestly, we should probably make those a little bit thicker. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Drop materials loaded the project. How do I get out of 3D mode? Exit 3D mode Photoshop. Go to the right and you should see 3D or Essentials. Essentials, there we go. Yes, there we go. Okay, we're going to copy that, delete this here, and scale it down to copy, paste, and then this over here. We're going to delete this one here. I just want them to be same thickness here. And then the opacity is 55%. Good. Save that. Put up Unity here, nice and seamless. And then we'll go to that normal map. Open up our normal map here. Good. And what we can do is just fade out the edges here, guys. Just like this. And that's just going to make it nice and seamless for the normal map itself. There we go. So the bottom is a little not fixed here. There we go. Good. So for some reason I'm seeing a little bit of a, wonder why. But overall it looks pretty good, doesn't it? All right, so that's why we're using Pro Builder, guys. It's really that easy to make a level look completely different. So I really am enjoying using Pro Builder. So I appreciate you guys offering up your opinion on that last week, because that really helped me. Just remember, guys, that Ultimate Game Artist is our sponsor for today, and this is one of my courses. Me and my team put together this course, me and Felipe. It's both 2D and 3D art. So if you guys want to learn how to make 2D art like you see in my games that I've released on Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, or if you want to make 3D art like you see in Father, you're going to learn it in this program. There are only 5 coupon codes available today. There's probably about maybe 2 left. These usually sell out during the live stream. So if you want 50% off, be sure to utilize those codes below. I have over 1,000 students in this program, and they love it. Great reviews. I haven't gotten less than a 5-star review yet. And if you're a student, feel free to say hello in the chat. You're going to learn everything we've learned in making our games. 20 plus hours of content. That's Photoshop, that's Blender, that's Substance Painter, 2D interiors, 2D exteriors, characters, enemies, protagonists, landscapes, pixel art, architecture, terrain. There's a ton of stuff to learn. And artwork is just as vital as learning to code. And so I highly recommend checking out this course if you're interested in becoming a game developer and a game artist like me and my team. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you later. Cheers. Get over here. Get down. Hey, thanks for watching. By the way, if you haven't downloaded that free 2D game kit below, click below. It's my treat to you. I used this game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days, and I actually got to play it with him in front of his audience, which was really cool. This game kit is totally free. It's my treat to you, and you can use it however you want. You can make a commercial game and make $1 million off this game kit. I don't care. Or you could just use it for a hobby project. It's my treat to you. And by the way, if you haven't clicked like, that would mean a ton to me. Hit subscribe. And also, this is important, hit that notification bell. Here's why. If you get notified of when I'm live, you can watch me make my next game, and let me know in the chat what you think about the game or any ideas you have, and you might just show up. Your chat might just show up in the next video that I upload. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.